Hello and welcome. So in this video we'll speak about so in, so there are like many options over here, and the default layout that we have is a constraint layout. But before that, let me just remove everything that is over here. Let me remove all of these buttons and all. Let me remove all of the code that we have over here because we don't need it anymore. And as you can see, there are no IDs available, so it will show me a red thing. That means it is an error. Oops, what did I do? I messed up the code. Do not remove the set content view, and after that remove everything. Leave these things. You can create a new file, but I'm just gonna use this one. Okay, the very first layout that we'll be seeing. First, I'll tell you what is a layout. Layout defines the structure of a user interface, such as in an activity. Okay, all elements are built using a hierarchy of view and view group objects. Okay, first thing I'll be telling you about a linear layout. Linear layout. Okay, let me just drag and drop this linear layout. There are like two options over here: linear horizontal, linear vertical. So linear layout is a view group that aligns all children in a single direction, vertically or horizontally. Okay, so let me just drag and drop this linear layout over here. Okay, let me remove this constraint layout as well. Okay, and let's drag and drop this. Okay, let me just go to the code and let me change this to linear layout. Okay, so this is the linear layout that I was speaking. So here we have linear layout. So now when I put in any values, like suppose I put in a button over here. Okay, see, the button will be in the horizontal order, in the vertical order. Okay, now if I add suppose if I add a text view, it will add it over here, and now it is horizontal over here. As you can see, it will add everything horizontally. Okay, so now if I add one more button, it will add one more button over there, and now if I add one more button over here, it will basically add everything horizontally. Now if I go over here and if I change this thing to let me see, where is the orientation? There should be an option called orientation. If not, then we can press enter over here. Okay, and write orientation. It will automatically show us an option. As soon as I write vertical, as you can see over here, oops, yeah, as you can see over here, it is automatically aligning it in the vertical directions. And since this is a match parent, and okay, so wrap content will do this thing, layout, and wrap content will do this thing as well. It will only take the space that is required. Okay, we can use match parent. We can use match parent over here as well. It is taking all the space that is over here, and it will add everything vertically. So this is the linear layout. Okay, I'm sure that you did understand what is a linear layout by now, because it is very simple. There's no such rocket science in it. Okay, all we are doing is just adding everything horizontally or vertically. This is the linear layout. Okay, let me just delete off everything. You know what, I'll just press Ctrl Z over here so that I'll get back my okay, I did not get everything back, so let me delete this one and let me press Ctrl Z over here, so it will bring back. Okay, I want the constraint layout to be back. Okay, so as you can see, the constraint layout is just back. So now there is one more layout that I want you to know about. That was a layout that was used before, but I don't think it is used now. So people do use it till now, but it's not a good thing according to me. You're supposed to use a relative layout. I mean the constraint layout. Constraint layout is the best layout, trust me. We will speak about everything about constraint layout in a complete separate video, because I want you to be very good in this thing. I want you to be perfect in constraint layout. I want you to be perfect in designing any application that you see. Okay, so now over here, this is the constraint layout, right? I want you to remove this one, and let me tell you something. This is called as a relative layout. So what is a relative layout? Relative layout is a view group that displays child in relative positions. The position of each view can be specified as relative to sibling elements. Suppose, okay, let me just give a edit text over here and wrap content, wrap content, wrap content, and okay, I'll just make the width as match parent. It will take all of the space, and when I write match parent, it will take all of the space, and I'll write id, and id that I want to give is new edit text. Okay, and I'll just close this one, and I'll write a hint over here as well, hint, and I'll write a hint like enter your name. That way it will add a hint over here. I'm sure you can see this thing. We can go over here and add the hints as well, but I'm just showing you in this way, a new way, so that you can learn something new. And I'll add one more edit text over here, and I'll write an edit text over here, and I'll make this thing as match parent, and I will make this thing as a wrap content. And okay, there is one thing over here, like I'll add a new id to it, and I'll write edit text. Okay, what's wrong? Yeah, edit text to it, and over here we can write an attribute called layout below. There are like many options over here, like layout margin top, layout align parent, align, and all of that stuff over here. So I'll write below, layout below. The layout below would be this one, and I will write the id. The id that I would be giving is new edit text. So as soon as I do that, it will automatically move it over here. Let me just show you again. Let me write a hint over here and enter your password. Okay, and yes, and now let me just remove this thing. Okay, and now as you can see, they both are overlapping each other. So now if I write layout below id, and I'm passing the id of this element, so this element is related to this one. So if I remove this one, then then there will be a problem over here. As you can see, if I remove this one, I mean, like, it will get confused over here. It will tell us that there is no new edit text over here. So that is why we do not use. And one more thing is that it doesn't support what do you call it, responsiveness in your application. We'll speak about what is responsiveness in the future videos, don't worry about it. For now, to give you an idea, I'll show you what is a responsive one. So let me just quickly open up this tab over here, and let me open up anything. Let us open up this one. So as you can see, if you want to assess any application or any website, you can just basically go to that website and open this website on your desktop and press this one. Okay, this is not a, yeah, as you can see over here. Okay, let me just open up another website like google.com. Yeah, google.com, and what's wrong? Google.com will be a responsive website. Responsive doesn't mean it gives us nice response. That doesn't mean responsive. I'll tell you what is responsive. You'll understand what is responsive in a moment. So as you can see over here, this is the website. Now if I press this Control Shift and I button, so as you can see over here, I can just choose anything over here. I can choose this responsive. I'll show you what is responsive. Okay, here you are seeing this thing, right? So now if I, let me just make this thing as 100. Now if I just press the small button when I decrease my this thing, so as you can see over here, okay, let me just ignore the Google one and open the Android Studios website. And as you can see over here, there are like few options over here. And now if I decrease the size of my window, see, it is automatically making the website as responsive one. See, as you can see, the design of this thing is being changed. See, I'll show you how it works. So now if I increase my, so I get these options over here, and now if I increase my options even more, I get these options, and if I do this thing again, and I'll get all of the options. So this is what is responsive. Of course, we cannot make very responsive applications, since mobiles doesn't have big screens like our desktops. So yeah, but it will be responsive up to some extent. Okay, so this is what is a relative layout. And coming to the constraint layout, constraint layout is the layout which allows you to position and size widgets in a flexible way. So let me just quickly, since we are using that drag and drop, right, we can directly use that drag and drop in constraint layout. Okay, we'll speak about constraint layout in a complete separate video, so don't worry about it if you do not understand it. I'll show you all of the options in constraint layout. It is a very great, and it is a very best layout in Android Studio. I mean, like, every Android developer must know how to use a constraint layout. Let me just quickly change this thing to constraint layout. Okay, so now constraint layout, all you know is that we can just drag and drop, and we have constraints over here. We can just use constraints to do this thing, and we have something called biasing over here. I'm sure that you have seen the previous videos. So for now, that's it. And in the next videos, we'll be learning about Java. Like, it will be a complete section about Java. And let me tell you, if you do not understand what is Java, then just question me in the Q&A section, and I'll answer. I'll just give you a few links so that you can learn Java from there. Like, so that, of course, I'll be teaching you everything about Java, but still, even if you do not understand what is Java, and if you want to know everything about Java, then you can just text me or perhaps ask me a question. Then I'll be sending you some links so that you can learn Java. But that's really up to you. As far as I know, every student of mine doesn't need any links in order to learn Java. I've covered everything. I'll be covering almost everything in Java, so do not worry about anything. Okay, so that's it for this video, guys. And in the next video, we will be in the next section, of course, we'll be seeing everything about Java, and soon after that we will be making a very big application called addition calculator application. Okay, so see you all guys over there. Till then, goodbye and take care.